centuries, people have sought more efficient ways for food preservation. In ancient China, preserved foods and their seasoning were referred as jiang, perhaps the origin of the soy sauce. The ingredients of soy sauce are soya bean, water, salt, and wheat. The four types of soy sauce in industry are light, like sodium, tamari, and dark. Careful selection is needed to enhance flavor and aroma. Soy sauce can be synthesized chemically. The process include hydrolyzation, neutralization, clarification, and additive. Step 1. Hydrolysis. Step 2. Neutralization. Step 3. Clarification. Step 4. Additive. Type of reactor used are pressure reactors because it's able to withstand high temperature, can reduce volume of reaction, and increase rate by increasing collision and concentration. Impact of chemically produced soy sauce as an advantage is short production time, cheap, longer shelf life. Disadvantage are health risks as to increased sodium content and presence of 3-MCPD. The example of product containing soy sauce are samyang, seafood sauce, and stick sauce. Soy sauce can be produced through enzymatic method. So the soybeans and wheat are mixed together and mold is then added. It is allowed to mature for 3 days. These are called koji, and then koji is transferred to fermentation tank, which is then mixed with salt and water. Then it is left to ferment for 6 months. This is the summary for enzymatic production of the soy sauce. The enzyme produced during this production are amylase and protease, and the reactor used are either mixed flow reactor or column type reactor with immobilized cells. The operating conditions are enzyme, temperature, and also time. For fermentation temperature, it depends on outdoor weather. For fermentation time, the impact of this alternative process are: the positive is that it has lower or none of 3-MCPD, and the disadvantage are the presence of histamine and also the biogenic amines.
Created using Powtoon.
At this factory on the outskirts of Bangkok, they have been making soy sauce since 1912. Every year, the company produces almost 10 million bottles of sauce. The main ingredient of soy sauce is soybeans, millions of them fresh from the farm. First, the beans are screened and cleaned, but the beans are still rock hard. To soften them up, 3-ton batches of the beans are put through a 2-hour, 212-degree Fahrenheit spin cycle. However, doing this creates big lumps of beans. So these churners break the blocks down into a steaming brown mush, which is passed on for processing. Meanwhile, another main ingredient is being prepared. Despite its name, soy sauce is actually equal parts soy and wheat. After being emptied into this oven, the wheat is roasted and crushed. But to produce soy sauce, you can't just add these ingredients together. Asia's favorite condiment isn't just made, it's brewed. It has to ferment in order to produce soy sauce's distinctive savory taste called umami. So next, a seed mold called Aspergillus oryzae is added to the soy and wheat mash. As the mixture is circulated with air, the fermentation changes its color. After 48 hours at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, the moldy mixture is now known as koji. But koji isn't soy sauce yet. Salty water needs to be added, as well as special bacteria and yeasts to encourage fermentation. Then it's left to age for 4 months in 22-ton tanks. This mud-like mixture is now more like sludge than sauce. Extracting the soy from sludge means squeezing it through layers of sack-like fabric. As the operator pours on the sauce, he creates over 400 layers of soy and sack. And after 8 hours of coating and folding, the 10-foot stack is squeezed with a 22-ton press. This slowly squashes the soy through the cloth, leaving behind tons of brown residue. Rather than throw this away, workers peel away each layer and set the high-protein carpet squares aside for use as cattle feed. The sweet-smelling cocktail of fermented soybean and wheat is known as raw soy sauce. To transform this into the 28 varieties of sauce they make here, it's pumped over to the flavoring section. Here, the raw product can become oyster or mushroom, light or dark, chili or sweet sauce. Carefully measured quantities of salt and sugar are added to the mix, along with a quick sprinkle of the company's secret ingredients.
The umami that comes out of the soy is fantastic. It's kind of like got a really kind of meaty, kind of almost savory flavor.
Soy sauce enhances the flavor of so many different dishes that in Japan, each person consumes 2 gallons of it every year. To keep up with consumer demand, more than 2.6 billion gallons of soy sauce are produced worldwide. As the soy bottles pass through this section, they're filled up, tops are screwed down, and labels are pasted on. Once boxed up, the sauce is dispatched all over the world, ready to be sopped up and poured on your favorite Asian cuisine. Still